Hello everyone. Now we will conduct a GD and the topic is the privatization good or bad? Okay, let's start the GD. One have to initiate and I must tell you the one who initiates the GD and the one who is the first to conclude the GD gets the extra points. Okay, in the interview also. So you have to keep that in mind and try to initiate the GD because that will be the source of your extra points. So let's start.
Ma'am,
I will mute
I
myself.
have one query. It
Yes,
will
Mani.
be bilingual or only in English?
Try in English. Bilingual we do it at 10 p.m. No?
Okay,
This
ma'am.
time let's try in English because this
Okay.
session is for English improvement. No? So let's try in English.
Good afternoon, guys. Himani this side. I want to say that privatization is not good because we are losing our shares, our stakes of governments in our strong organization, and many of us have dreams like to get a government job, which and we are preparing for so long, but uh, ended up working in a organization which will be private sooner or later. That's it.
According to me, the privatization is always according to the government needs because sometimes government need to pay their debts also, so they have to privatize the companies or maybe the bank also so that they could get enough funds for for pay off their debts. So I think that all of the privatization depend upon the needs only.
No, ma'am, in my opinion, I think privatization is good, but at some level it's bad because many people, after taking a government job, they delay the work and just delay the customers. So that's it.
Yes, my friend, you hit the bullseyes as we are moving towards a digital era where where economics and GDP is growing day by day. We need we need privatization of bank because as in private sectors, development or is it development is growing very fastly as compared to government sectors, and even the employees have also sorry. That's just
Yeah. Anyone?
Hmm. So, accordingly, I think that privatization is just the process for making the state's role in government owning or running businesses, and they less the role and give it to the private companies. Like we can see that recently Air Asia was also privatized and it was bought by the Tatas. So, I think that it is just for the need of the government and they get enough funds for the different projects so they can put that funds they have received from the privatization of a company in different projects and that too will help the economy to grow.
What was the topic, guys?
Guys, the topic is regarding the privatization. Is privatization good or bad?
What? Or anyone?
Yeah, in my opinion, the privatization of the public sector and monetization of assets are not good for India. And disinvestment in public enterprises over the years is also not good because we are a developing nation, and for the developing nation, firstly, we have many other problems, and we have the first responsibility to give the job of each and every individual. As in our country, there is also the cases of many things like disabilities, and there are also many people who are not competitive to each and everyone. There are many castes and categories in our country which are living below to the some higher categories. So we need privatization, but not at present time. Presently, we need the proper work, and for each and everyone. Firstly, we have to manage our society, each and every society, to grow at same level. After that, we are able to do the privatization.
Maybe from the point of view of government, privatization can be good because government want to disinvest his money from many organization, PSU organization, and want to invest their money in in the project where they find profit. But from the point of view, aspirants and our country's youth, it's not a good idea, I guess.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Himani, because the privatization has always helped in keeping the consumer need the upmost, as the government need to pay their debts also. Because, but in the long term, as aspirants have always dreamt of having a government job, and those who are already in the government job. For them, the privatization of their company is not very good, and they must not be very huge on that side, so they might be bad for them. But
Exactly.
privatization is like a solution for the problems of public enterprises, no? Because they are being transferred from public to private, and this in turn will help in increasing the tax revenues also, and strengthen the public treasury, and government will get more money, and they can invest that in other projects also.
Exactly, I agree with you. But being a government sector employee, already they are getting less salary than those private sector employee. And if you will private those organization, they will be not in a good phase. It will very bad for them, right?
No, I don't think that government did this intentionally because, for example, Indian train. People just sit in Indian trains and they don't buy tickets. Because of this, we can
This is
see.
not
Okay.
this is not a good
Yeah.
example, as I know, when I travel, I always buy a ticket, and those who not buy, it's their
Fault.
personal
Yeah,
choice.
the
Right?
government has to make the law for this. Why they appointed TT and TC? Why they are not doing their proper work? Make the law
Exactly.
construct,
I
not
remember when
privatize.
exactly. I remember when I traveled, there were no TT, and it's their responsibility only to check every passenger's tickets, right?
Yeah, it's the fault of the government. Government has to make the strict law, and the government employees
No,
who are working there have to work properly. Why they are not working? It means that it shows that our government is failing in managing their employees if they are not working properly. And this
no,
doesn't mean if you are not able to solve the problem, these type of problem, if you are not able to govern all these things, it means that you are not able to work with the government. You have to resign from your post and give another chance to stop all these things.
government just tell you what you have to do, but don't. They always watch you.
Why
I
should they
don't.
not? They appoint the
How
employees
can
for
you?
all
They
these
watch
work.
always.
So it
We are
also happen in
second biggest
private sector,
population in world.
because this
Why
so this
can't they watch you all time? They can put
yeah,
CCTV cameras in trays also, na?
okay, huh, that's
In
the
every
option.
train, there is
Yeah, in
budget.
every train. No, you have to put
People
just
just
one
don't
camera.
want to give taxes and they want to happy life.
we
How?
have to we have to just put the camera at the station, or we have to put just one employee to check the ticket before they enter into the train. The
And
problem is solved.
where can they get money for this?
Why? There are many employees working in the railways.
And they have so much money. They
They
have money to
Yeah.
there is
give to the foreign countries, but they don't have money to invest in their own countries.
Hmm.
I
And
think
this
that
will
is
also
a quite
generate the
hypocrite
revenue
thing.
as yeah, and this will also generate the revenue for the nation. If they will check, they will generate the revenue from these. Because
first
as
you
you
have
are
to
saying
see
that
the
many people
budget
don't took
and
the ticket.
loans.
Yeah, I am agree, but this process will generate the revenue for the nation, because as you are saying that many people don't take the ticket and travel in the train. If
Yeah,
we have the agent who is checking at the
we
entry point,
have ticket
so
collector, but they take the bribe.
so brother, this will also happen in a private sector as well. If they
No,
will
brother,
take
No,
the
I
can
don't think.
not blame all TTs
Architects,
or TCs. I saw some TTs are good with their work and they put
I agree with
passenger
you.
outside the train if they didn't have ticket, right?
Yep.
But
And
as
one
I
of
have
the
seen, na,
adverse and as the adverse effect of the privatization is there is no welfare state and less social development also, because of government or public sector companies also keep doing social work simultaneously. In case privatization happen, it will result in fewer fund for society, because private companies have no obligation to do social work,
I
and
don't
Exactly.
say
unemployment
One
will
privatization is
more,
100% good,
one,
but what can they
one
do if
more
you?
thing
even
will happen is monopoly will come if privatization will happen, right?
exactly, Imani, I am agree with your point. And one more thing about the privatization, unemployment will also be generated, as we are the growing nation. Our population is growing day by day. And because of the privatization, private companies need less worker and wanted to produce much and more. So unemployment will also occur. Privatization will also result in retrenchment of the employees. In private sector enterprises, there is emphasis on performance.
Exactly what
But
I want to say. If you work
one
honestly
more
in
thing
government
is
department, then why government
One
privatize
more
all
thing
his
is,
stocks?
if privatization will happen, so private company will always prefer by their qualification like degrees. If you have BE, Tech, then they will hire you. Then what about BA? That BA from history, they will not get employed, right?
Yeah,
There, yeah.
and still 27% of population of India is uh, not literate. They are 27% of the population is illiterate in India. So where they will do work, where they will go?
If you are illiterate, then why you want a government job? You have to literate.
yeah,
It
government
doesn't
job
matter,
can't be
bro.
given to the
We
person na, who is illiterate. I think we
You
are
Exactly.
have to
working so
gain
hard to
education
get
for a
a
government
government
what
job
job.
or any
We
government
all
is
job.
are literate
Or
persons.
There
government
is
is
many
providing the job. There
There
is
is
many
many peon
NTPCs.
and
Yes,
MTS. They can
yeah,
Be
you
given to
can
the
do
one
this,
who is
but
10th pass.
they can
yes,
be
man.
provided with job like 10th plus, right?
Yes,
Matriculation.
you
Yes,
have to
who have
minimum
10
education for a
50-50,
job.
and only 50% of our population is graduate. 50% people are still not graduate in our country, and private sector only gives the employment to the uh, educated people who have did their degree. They didn't provide the job to the 10th and 12th student.
No, there are many jobs. If
there are
if you
jobs.
want
It
to
all
do
depend
it,
upon the type of job. Na?
if you want to do a technical job, then you have to do BTech, BCA, or a computer related job
But
education.
what about
Type of
those
stream you
BSc
want to
If
take.
you are
graduates?
doing
What
BA,
about
then you go to archaeological
But
department.
but how much
uh,
they pay for the 10th and 12th graduated people? They will pay only 8 to 10,000. But
You
the
can.
government pays
Your point that the salary for the BSc graduates or BA graduates is very low. It
I
is as
don't
low
say
as
that
10 to
government
15,000.
just do 100% privatization.
Yes,
There
you
are
are
I
only
some
agree.
thinking of
jobs.
privatization?
No, I don't prefer 100% privatization.
So speak in that favor only.
Yes, it is correct, Himani,
And that,
because in GD you have to be diplomatic, na? You have to say
yeah,
that I don't
There is
support
army.
100% privatization, but of some organization that are not even making profits as if they are government, but if they are being privatized, then they might make profit. Then that type of organizations may be privatized. That is my opinion.
And in my opinion, if privatization will happen, then BA person would have to do like mazduri work, right? They don't
Yeah,
have
but
opportunity to prepare for government job and get government job.
you
But
go, then you go to research.
but where we are expecting to become the third largest GDP in 2031, it's not comes under the private sector, government sectors. We have to move toward the private sector for this.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And
why
we
we
all know
will
the
not,
work, and
We
and
just
we all
dream
know what is
about
the
third largest
we
GDP.
reach
How
to the
can we
You
just?
it's not the
we
dream. We
reach
will
to
You
surely
the
just
achieve that.
can't
largest
do
GDP.
privatization for grow our
Yeah,
country or for grow our economy. It's
we
about
reach to the
I
investor
am not
largest
also.
preparing
economic.
100% privatization.
We all know what is the
But
service of the government employee. Uh,
yes,
Nothing is happening
if
immediately.
you,
It always take one about 2 or 3 months, or even years
they
also.
always said it's lunchtime. It's lunchtime. What?
Only in SBI.
Don't speak this thing in real GD. I am saying you.
It
Don't
just
say this
because
is
of the
lunchtime,
schedule and how many
lunchtime.
times usually
That
No.
our
thing.
citizens
Don't
of
speak.
Delhi.
Okay, ma'am. Sorry for
They
this.
will say that why are you sitting here for the government job if you are so khilaf of government
If you
job?
want to see, if you want to see difference between private and government, then go to a private bank and then go to a government bank.
Yes,
You
yes.
can see difference.
I am selling the same boat with you, my friend, because we all see what happened in private banks and what happened in government banks. The environment and in the environment and the discipline is the private bank is best, is robust, but as compared to government bank.
But I think that it is not just because of government and private, it is because of the job security. But because in case of government bank, na, the employees have the surety that their job will not be taken. But in case of private, they have a target set that you have to get this much customer or you have to do this much work, otherwise you will be fired. So they have a little fear in their mind that if we don't get the work done or if we don't work sincerely, then we will be fired. But this is not in the case of government job. That's why
Yes,
maybe the employees are always postponing our work in the government sectors.
yes, ma'am. This is what I said. If he works sincerely, then why government do privatization? They do
And
privatization because of us, because of our behavior.
right,
They are
and
taking
I
something
don't
they
more.
think
are
so.
taking it
I
as a
think
favor.
And
government
there is a
have
need of lots of money for infrastructure to invest in this.
Yeah, this is a reason.
This will
I
make
think
a
that
5 trillion
is not
economy.
bothered.
This
Sorry.
is a massive reason, I know.
But government can raise money from other sources also. They just can't get want do this privatization with all those organization which are giving so much profits and which are giving employment
But
to
it will
their
make
youth.
You
but it
can
will make debate on government of
explain
India.
on this. Can you?
Yeah, I agree with Himani. I don't say that privatized a company that is already generating profits for the government. I was just saying that we have to privatize that company that is doing nothing good for the government, that is not
Yeah.
even generating a 1% profit for the government. We have
But
to privatize that company. But in case of some banks, like some people say that Canara Bank should be privatized or this bank should be privatized, PNB should be privatized. I think that should not be the case because the employees who have given exams of that thing or who have joined the bank in hopes that they are joining a government sector and then suddenly they woke up one day and see that the bank is privatized, that will shatter their hopes. Na? So I think that the
Yes,
company
ma'am.
that is not even generating profits for the government, like Air India, that was totally in loss for the government. So that's why they sell that to Tata. Na? So that's my opinion. That sell the thing
Not
that
in
is not
laws. If they
generating profit
don't
for you.
sell it, then it can be closed.
But I read somewhere that government is not privatizing only those who are not good with profit. They are all also privatize those which are giving profit, but they are watching it like investment or
Financial.
one time money from that source, and they just privatize and they just sell out that organization because they want money and they want to invest it in some other project.
Yeah, if
Himani,
you are
what you
telling
just said,
about
can you
present
give an
government, then this is
example?
right. They are
I hope you can
making
all
money
hear
for
me.
making temple or something.
And one thing more, one farmer said that go to private bank and go to public sector bank. There is a huge difference of their
Yeah,
employees. But I
yes,
want
yes,
to
yes.
say that don't judge because of environment of one public company like you can say SBI. There is or many more like PNB. Go to PNB and saw their work. They are great. They have great environment there, right?
I
They do.
listen. I don't say that every government department is what
Bad.
means bad.
But if you see the 10-year-old reports, we can easily differentiate between the government and private sector. As we just now, IGFC Bank has got the best friend customer friendly award in previous year. But but if we see to the government bank, they will not get a good response from the customers.
One thing I want to add, Bank of Baroda recently get 5 awards in different
Digital
categories from
transition.
MITI, from Ministry of Environment, Electronics and Technology, Information Technology. And one thing more I want to say that um, एक सेकेंड मैं भूल गई यार.
Karnataka
Okay,
Vikas.
take your time.
Karnataka Vikas Gramin Bank has also got 3 awards.
Yes, public shows their interest in public sector bank only. As one report I have read that uh, many persons want to open their zero balance account or financial inclusion in public sector bank rather than private.
Yeah, because of government.
But private sector bank is giving you a better opportunities as compared to government bank. You can also open a zero.
You just can't
But
go
you
and
have
tell
to money.
that, but you just can't go and tell that those village public, right? They believe on public sector bank more, and that's the fact and truth.
Yes.
Because it's a myth that is coming from many years.
Ancient
That
times.
SBI.
It's not a complete myth. You just can't say it is a myth.
Yeah, it's okay. I can't say it's a myth, but
But
it's a
there is
myth
a RBI for
because
supervisory of a bank.
Yes, I'm totally agree with Himani, as Himani is saying that people have their interest in the government and they have believe in the PSBs. And yeah, I am agree with that because as I have seen many examples that many private sector banks do a fraud and they are not giving the money. As we can see the recent example of one of the private sector banks, Sahara, who is working like a bank, but they are not giving the
Sahara
money
is
to
not
their
a bank,
customers.
Sahara.
I
It's
think.
working
But
like an institution.
NBFC,
It's a
private
financial
Wait,
company.
NBFC.
it's a financial institution also.
Uh,
It's not a bank, but it's also a
Sahara is not
financial
a commercial
institution.
bank.
Yeah,
But it
but
is
it's
not a
also
bank, no? And there is a huge risk if we put our money in NBFC. We
But
have all known that from a long time.
You can compare Sahara as it is a NBFC, private
yeah,
NBFC.
exactly. We didn't have that much security, the security with the government bank provides. And that's why the people still believe in that government banks are more safer than the private sector bank. You can also see the records and revenues if people believe in that the private sector bank is also safe. You can just compare the revenues of the bank. You will see that the government banks are on the top.
Because it is backing logging by the RBI or government also. That's the reason behind this. And even if you see the private bank, there are two banks who are just fed up from the India, just like corporate bank. I think so. There are two banks, corporate bank and one more bank. Can you please tell me the name? I just forget about that.
Now,
Guys, don't stick on one point. If you have forgotten the point, don't ask others. You have to move forward. Start your next point then.
Okay.
okay,
I think
anyone?
that everyone needs to give their conclusion now. It have been 25 minutes since the discussion. You will get this much time only in the group discussion in the real GT. So let's start. Who will first conclude? You can all start.
Himani ma'am.
Speak one
Okay,
by one.
okay. So, in my opinion, privatization is not a good idea, and it's it's not give us a job security for aspirants. Okay.
Okay, in my opinion, as I think that privatization of some sectors could have its benefit for India. Some are unavoidable, like Air India, but not all services need to be privatized at the moment, as we are developing nation and we have to do the work for each and every individual.
Can I have a chance, one more chance, please? I want to add
Sure,
some.
Himani.
Okay,
Sure,
ma'am.
Yes,
Himani.
Say.
as all are talking about Air India's privatization, I want to add one thing that Air India already belong to Tata Group. I have read somewhere
Ma'am,
that
like
It
Tata
is
Group,
true, Himani, but they sell it to government, na? It was
right?
the same way because if you see the Canara banks or the other banks, I'm just taking example of Canara. I don't know why it is on my mind today. So all the banks that were nationalized, na, about 50 to 60 years ago, these all banks were
yes, yes,
nationalized except for SBI. So that were also made from private to public. In the same way, Tata sold the
I was also
that
nationalized.
airlines too. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. In my opinion, privatization is not good or bad, but government have to do some company private for country development, and they have to leave some company government because for people's what then. Okay. Sorry, ma'am. Just it.
Good. Okay, so for me, there are many public sector enterprises that are making losses these days, and all these are being supported by the taxpayers' money. We are the taxpayers, so it is our right, and it have to be privatized to reduce the burden, because public sector enterprises do not have to run only because they have been running for so many years. So according to the need of government, some data making losses need to be privatized, but those are those who are making losses have to be privatized, but those are already who are in profits, they need not be privatized, and they have to be run as public sector enterprises as long as they are fulfilling the needs of the particular sector, so that aspirants who are aiming for the government jobs are also happy, the persons who are already doing the job in that enterprise are also happy. So I think it is all according to the need of the government and the need of the time, that which sector have to be privatized and which sector have to be remain government. Thank you.
Ma'am, one more time.
Sure, Saurabh.
Ma'am, I just say about taxes. If you can't steal our taxes and pay on time, then why do government do privatization?
And that's what
Apart
the
from the
point
group
I
discussion, I
just
would
told, no? Mm-hmm.
apart from the group discussion, I would like to say one thing. If someone who is interested in privatization, why you are preparing for the government job? Just leave the profession
Mm.
and start doing job in private sectors.
No
But
one is interested
this
here
is
in
not private.
privatization.
Everyone preparing for government job does not mean that they go and take a government job.
That is why I have said that apart from group
If you
discussion.
want to expand your personality, then
No,
do.
but they
Why you
invest
take a
their
job?
precious 3-4 years in preparation, and now they are talking about privatization. This is the weird thing, na?
Yeah, exactly, Imani.
If you are preparing for something and just say what is wrong and what is right. This is not right. If you preparing for government job, that you say government is best, privatization is bad. Just say right things.
Yes, you have to tell the truth. What actually you think in your mind. As I said that if the need of the hour is to privatize the company and there is no other option left, like we said in the case of Air India, that was not even making profits. That was in loss, and we are the taxpayer guys. We are giving the money, and from the taxpayer money that is being established, like Air India is being kept going on. So a company is need not to be public or private just because it have been public or private for so many years. It can be privatized, it can be nationalized depending upon the need. If the government feel that there is a company that is making good profits and government take the stakes of that company, or say the company is being nationalized, then I think that will be also good. In that case we as aspirants will not say na, that sorry, that why is this company being nationalized, this is the private company, the employees in this company is private, they have got the job without any preparation. We can't say things like that, right? So same is the case with the government, like privatization. I don't think the banks are going to be privatized so soon. They are just talking about it. That was just a recommendation. And I don't think at this moment we need to be worried about the privatization of banks. There are just some companies like Air India, or there was one more company, I can't remember the name, that was also that was also nationalized. So we see that both the things are going hand in hand. The nationalization is also happening and privatization is also happening. So I think the government is just thinking about its profits, and in turn the profit will turn to us only because of our money as the taxpayers are going in the right direction. You don't want to put the money in a
Article
company that is in the loss.
in an
Yes.
article
Yes.
I read that Bank of Baroda uh, can be private. So government is not only thinking of that कि वो गवर्नमेंट उसको केवल ना अच्छे बैंक्स जो कि प्रॉफिट नहीं दे रहे हैं उन्हीं को प्राइवेट करे, वो उन बैंक्स को भी प्राइवेट करने का सोच रहा है जो कि अच्छे खासे बैंक है, प्रॉफिट दे रहे हैं. सॉरी, आई एम स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी.
Okay.
It's
Continue.
okay, money.
तो गवर्नमेंट ने अभी बोला भी है, ऐसा एक सुनने में आया था कि केवल 5 बैंक्स ही रहेंगी पीएसपीस, बड़ी बड़ी 5 बैंक्स. और एसबीआई, जैसा कि हम जानते हैं, एसबीआई में लोग देख रहे हैं कि वो श्योर हैं कि उनकी गवर्नमेंट जॉब है, बट कहीं ना कहीं गवर्नमेंट एसबीआई में भी डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट करने का सोच रही है. सो बहुत सी चीजें चल रही हैं इस समय कंट्री में ऐसी, और गवर्नमेंट सिर्फ सोच रही है कि वो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाए और जगह इन्वेस्ट करे, जिस कारण वो ऐसी कंपनीज को भी प्राइवेट करती जा रही हैं जो कि अच्छा खासा प्रॉफिट दे रही है इस समय.
Mm, I'm not sure. Can you tell that? Did you just said that SBI is also going to be private according to you?
मैंने ऐसा नहीं बोला कि एसबीआई प्राइवेट हो रहा है, मैंने बोला कि एसबीआई में कुछ परसेंट गवर्नमेंट ने डिसइन्वेस्ट किया था.
Okay, okay, disinvestment, na? Yeah, that
हाँ.
is right, but it is not going to be private ever because that is not a nationalized bank. That was from the start, it was a government bank and it can never be privatized. Only the company that was private earlier and that was taken over by the government, that was being nationalized before. Even in the case of bank or any other company, that can only be privatized.
I
I
also
just wanted
agree,
to.
as I know that SBI is a DSSI and one of those three banks which are very important for our economy, and if they will crash, our whole economy will crash. So I am hoping that SBI will not get privatized.
Yeah, I hope so too. That is not, that should not be the case.
And I'm also hoping that nothing will be privatized at the moment, because the government, it's the duty of the government that they have to make the strict law. How the private sectors would make it profitable if the government is unable to make it profitable? If you are security issue, you have to just place the security cameras. If you have the issue in the management, just change the management and come with a new management who will do the work strictly. Why we are privatizing all these things to make the profit? If we literally want to make the profit, then stick the laws. These are the options. We can see the examples of many cities also. They are in the profit and they are not selling their government securities.
You are just telling solution. Why don't you tell us what?
What हिंदी में बोल दो भाई.
You can speak in Hindi, it's okay.
1 minute.
अगर मेरे साथ भी ऐसा हो
बोलो.
तो मुझे बोल दिया करो हिंदी में, बोल दो यार, मेरे को भी बड़ा एम्बैरेस लगता है।
ओके, तो
नहीं, इट्स
जैसा
ओके.
कि आप
मैं
बता रहे हैं,
मैं अभी
मतलब
ब्रेकफास्ट कर रहा था. दैट्स व्हाई आई वाज नॉट एबल टू स्पीक.
नहीं नहीं, तो आनंद जी, जैसे आप ही ने
नाउ
बताया
आई एम
कि
डन विद द
किस तरह
ब्रेकफास्ट.
से, तो आप ये क्यों नहीं बताते कि उनको लागू कैसे किया जाए? हाउ कैन गवर्नमेंट इम्प्लीमेंट दिस?
Just hire me as economic advisor of the country. I'll give them all the details.
But
Do
Because
you
at
you
the
have that
moment they are not
you
qualification?
can
paying
tell
me.
us.
Are you qualified, Rausa, for the
But
economic advisor?
yeah, I'm
You
doing the
said na
MBA
give
right now.
conclusion, so he's giving
Yes,
conclusion only.
you, if government need my views how to do all the things properly, then just appoint me and pay me for that. That is what
No,
private sector is doing. Wait,
why
wait, wait.
can't you
Private
tell
sector
government? Just
that
tell
will.
us.
I have tell many options that put the security cameras if they are not doing work properly, and just hire one person to check it regularly.
What about
And
budget?
just also start and what about budget? We will gain from there if more much and more persons will come in the bank. They deposit and they lend the money from the bank. They deposit the money from the bank. The government will get the profit there. If the work is proper, then the customer will increase. As many are saying that SBI persons are not doing their work properly. If we will make the strict law for the SBI, then the person who are complaining for that, they will not complain. They will come in the bank and they will do their work. So it will result in the generating revenue for the bank, and this will help in that. As we are also saying that Air India is in loss, that's why we have sell it. Just make the laws strict for the Air India. Just reduce the price little bit for the flight. Make the flight full for every time when the flight fly from one place to another place. This will result in the profit.
And
That is not
government
the
Yes,
solution
should
that
exactly.
was
then
I was
suggest.
going to ask. Why do you all think that Air India was in loss? Was it because of the government? It was because of the people who prefer the private flights as compared to the Air India. That was
Because
government only.
private is
Why
providing the
why
private
people
sector is
prefer
providing the
private
cheaper
planes?
thing.
Yeah,
Because the
that was,
private
no?
sector is providing the cheaper plane and they are giving the
Yes.
more things. They are giving the more opportunities to the person. Why government is not doing all that thing? Government
Hmm.
can also
They
provide all
have to
these
take
things.
steps regarding that thing.
Yeah,
If they, I think
exactly,
that
that's
the
why we
government
have
just want
appointed
to do
you
the
to govern
business,
the
but
nation.
they don't know how to do a business. That's what I
Yeah,
feel.
exactly. It's not the option that I have a car, I wanted a new car. That it doesn't the option that I will sell car and one more other things from our home, then buy a new car. ऐसा घर में होता है क्या? हमें अगर एक गाड़ी की जरूरत है तो हम अपनी पुरानी गाड़ी और उसके साथ एक चीज और बेच के और एक सेम वही गाड़ी फिर से नई गाड़ी लाके रख ले अपने पास। ये ऑप्शन थोड़ी नहीं होता। हमको अर्न करना है, कमाओ, आमदनी बढ़ाओ, फिर नई चीजें खरीदो, उसको
Because
अच्छा करो, ये थोड़ी
yeah,
नहीं।
Exactly. Government just don't want to improve. They just hand over it in other company
to the
and
private company. Yeah.
Just a blame game. To be honest, just a blame game. Blame game is going there. They are selling the thing just to make the and earn money from them.
Because if you
There are
have
many
seen a
scams in the
private
government.
flight, yes, if you are just talking about Air India, you can compare the difference. If you have seen Air India flights and the private flights, they are much cleaner,
Hmm.
private flights, and they are much cheaper for the people also. You can find very good deals for the private, but it is not in the case of government flights. Why is it not the case?
Yeah,
Government have to take
because,
and
steps for
because
that, na?
of strict
yeah,
rules.
and one more thing that the government is not paying tax for these, and the private sector is also paying tax for their flights to fly in India,
Mm.
and the government is not paying that tax too. Why they are not improving there? Where all these monies are going? The
Because of
ministers are earning the money, and these all are going to
biased
this
behavior.
Louis bank account.
I will just give another
Why?
example that came to my mind. If we talk about the banks also, private and public bank, their interest rates are also different. I have a account in another bank that is not a government, it is a private bank. I have very good interest rate. Earlier I had a account in a government bank, SBI bank, but the interest offered to me was very low. Then I closed my account when I saw that my brother was having an account in another bank that is paying 6.5% interest on FD. So I just moved all my money in that account. So that's the difference now. People will also see that difference. They will not see that uh, if that sorry, the government bank have more security or anything like that. They will just see that they are earning more profits because the banks like Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, they are not going to close. They are well established private bank also. Even they are private bank, they don't have any chances of closing or getting bankrupt. They are working good. So I think people see the
exactly.
difference.
And private banks are trying to improve continuously. They are taking new initiatives, like I heard that Equitas Bank's initiative EVA for women, and 7% interest on that. And government banks are not taking such initiatives.
EVA portal was for HDFC, no? I think.
EVA was of Equitas Small Finance Bank, I
Yeah,
guess.
I have heard of another bank also, and that was, I think, Kerala Grameen Bank. I don't actually remember the name. I have heard about 2 to 3 months back. They were offering larger interest rate for those persons who are already vaccinated. That should be the government's drive. They should promote the vaccination, but the private bank is doing that. So private banks are doing very good deeds also. That's why they are moving forward. That's why government see and compare their banks with the private bank and see that they are making more profits than us. Then we should also sell this bank and make it privatized. That should not be the thought of government. I think that they
Yeah,
should have the need to improve.
and exactly, and we are only seeing the government is selling the things. We are not seeing any news in that government is making. We are just only seeing that government is selling this, government is selling IPO for this, government has sold this company, and where all these monies are going. Government are not giving the record for these.
In Central Vista and Ram Mandir Temple.
No, they are not giving any record. They are not
Yes,
publishing it in any newspaper, so we can know
exactly.
about it, right?
And brother, Ram Mandir is not made up of the government money. The peoples are giving the
I don't
donation
think
for
that
that.
is right. Government
Really?
is also
Yeah,
nationalizing things. Vodafone India, I have recently heard the news about a month back that Vodafone India is being nationalized because the government is holding maximum stakes in that company. So if they see the profit in a company, they will hold a stake in that company.
But what is
But
the point of nationalized Vodafone? As I know, Vodafone is merged with Idea and it is not giving that profit also.
yeah, and it also in the
that's my
loss.
point, no?
I have, yes,
So
exactly.
why
Government
nationalizing
is
that?
just government is only trying to make on profit and fill their pocket. They are not thinking
The
about the nation.
government is doing things in their arbitrary mode, right?
Exactly. Many people have submitted their money in PM Care Fund, but no one have a record of that fund where all these monies have gone. Many people
because
have
they
donated
don't
50
give the
crore,
record
20
of
crore,
their fund.
200 crores.
But everything should
Yeah,
be open, na? If we are giving our money, even if we are paying the taxes also, there
They
should be
said
a
that
record
this,
that.
this is not come under ITI.
yeah.
But
Manmohan
that's
government
wrong.
has
और पाई
formed the
पाई का
ITI.
हिसाब, right?
They
We
are
want our पाई का हिसाब. You should publish
exactly.
all this खबर in
We,
newspaper so we can
Like,
read.
I will give you an example. Like, if government budget is also coming tomorrow, so as
Tomorrow,
government
yes, ma'am.
announces the budget, we will discuss the budget in class also. So as the
yeah,
budget
exactly.
will
That's a
come,
good thing. कल आएगा
we will
परसों हम
see
डिस्कस
that.
करते हैं बजट पे.
Hmm.
डे आफ्टर
Yeah,
टुमारो वी विल डिस्कस ऑन बजट.
we will discuss. Everyone can read according to them, and then we will discuss the points on budget and merits and demerits. What is the wrong thing and what is the right thing in budget of this year. Chalo, moving to my point, as I was saying that budget is also announced that we will spend this much rupees on this thing, we will spend this much rupees on this thing. So what is wrong in showing the taxpayers' money? They can at least show na that how much revenue of taxes is collected, how much revenue they have got from this, like from privatizing the
Yeah,
things.
and where
They
all
get
these
the revenue
revenues
from
are
that thing
going.
also, and where yes, the where the revenue is going, as we see that government is also giving money to other countries also, so they should show all those things, because
Yeah,
as we
show
are
how much taxes you are paying to the other nations. Yeah, we all know
hmm,
that our government, our deficit is high, but just
hmm.
This,
show to the public that that much money I have paid for the deficit.
they show all this in budget.
Only the percentage of deficit they show in the budget, and they show that we will pay that much amount. But if they are
You,
paying that much amount for the deficit, so
Nahin,
why
they
next
should
year the
show the
deficit is
actual
you
amount
increasing?
have to
also, na?
read whole budget, not one
I
paper.
have read they bro, I have read it, and they only say that that much budget is allotted for the deficit. But
Hmm.
if you are spending that money on deficit, then how next year the deficit is increased? If you have already paid that amount, the deficit should be decreased that time. And after that, they will not show that I have paid it or not.
It's
Yes, the
government
They
point.
only show
efficiency.
it in budget that that much
Yes,
amount is
the
allotted for
point
the
here is
deficit of our nation.
You can check
because
example of Pegasus software. How can they say that we bought Pegasus software?
I don't think that the Pegasus software is anywhere concerned with our topic today.
No,
Yes.
ma'am.
Exactly.
It's about budget.
What
No, no Pegasus software. It's about budget.
Yes, it's about budget.
We
It
didn't
always
buy
been seen
Pegasus
that
software.
I
We
mean not
didn't
buy.
buy.
We didn't
We,
buy, but we have used now on some people. So there is an
how can
inquiry
we
going on.
use Pegasus without buying it?
Yeah, of course. Means not totally buying, not buying the rights of Pegasus, but we have told them and given them money who own the Pegasus that we have to use on this person, and they have used. But we are giving like kind of contract.
But we gave money.
Yeah, we give money, and that's the point. Na?
Mm,
That was Ausab also saying that we don't show that where the money is totally going, because we create a budget that is totally right, and we as developing nations know that our budget will be deficit. It will not be a surplus budget as the developed countries. It's also fine, but we have to know na, that how much money we already had and how much money in surplus that was required to fulfill the budget. The difference, where how the difference is met, we have to know that thing. I think so.
Government can't show where's the money going because one reason behind this is all big ministers are take money to their home in the name of big schemes which
But
are
that is
not
also not
successful.
right. That's why the corruption is increasing now. That's why there is
The
a
big
Yeah,
need
thing
to.
is there is
Yes, ma'am.
corruption.
according to the one of the report of the London, that the money in the Swiss bank account is increased. The Indian's money in Swiss bank account is increased by 27% this year. In
Yes.
COVID
Yes,
time, the increase in Swiss bank account. How these
we are
monies are
all
going in
aware
Swiss
how our
bank account?
ministers are.
27% increase.
In
Yeah,
COVID times,
the
many schemes
government
are
have to
launched
take care of that.
Many
That's why
schemes
and
they
they
have
increase
just
the
launched.
take
money
Who
in
money.
Swiss
knows?
bank.
Yeah, who knows that if they are saying that the scheme is of 200 crore and they just spend 100 crore on the scheme and 100 crore goes in their pockets.
Not
So we don't
100.
know exactly.
Right.
In one movie, I
I,
saw that some government minister applied loan of dash crore from that global organization and took all money to their home only. I am talking
and
about a movie scene only. Is it is an example.
it's a real fact. Yeah, the best thing is that the government have their hawk eye on the transaction of outsources. Why the money is going from India to other nation and for which purpose? If the government put eye on that thing, I think the problem of the black money and the increase in Swiss bank bank amounts will
Will be
also be
very less.
decreased.
Hmm.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
If they have eye on outsider transactions.
But who will do this? I think the whole of the government from
Because
up to down is corrupt.
Whole
exactly.
government system is corrupt.
Yeah, because they are gaining from that. So why will they put their eye on that?
Hmm.
Don't put this recording on YouTube. It's just from my point of view because this is going
Other
somewhere else.
otherwise the gov uh, otherwise the government supporter will come come up on our home and say you are saying this about me.
Okay, okay. Let's
Get him
come to
into the
the
prison.
original topic. This will be going
That
on
is
YouTube. So
privatization.
come on original topic of the privatization. So let's conclude our topic now. The topic has
Don't
gone very far this time.
don't follow in emotion.
Don't be emotional. So let's conclude the topic one by one. Saurabh, you can start speaking about the conclusion you have gained from the topic.
I concluded.
Uh, Afterwards, we also discuss some things, na? So include that also and give a overall conclusion in 1 minute or 2 minutes. Not 1 minute, 2 minutes. Sorry, 4 5 lines. In GD, we have to give the conclusion in 4 to 5 lines.
I just have to think.
In the meantime, someone else can go on. Rausa, Abhimani, anyone can speak.
You all can
According to my opinion, the privatization of some sector could be beneficial for the government, but not all the sector because it results in less safety, rise in prices also, and it also result in the job cuts for the peoples. And it will also make the poor people more poorer. So I think it doesn't mean that all the things should be privatized, but if government wanted to privatize something, then 10 to 20% privatization can be happen in our nation.
Yes, I also agree that, as I said before, there are many public sector enterprises that are making losses these days. So they can be privatized because, as taxpayers, we don't want our money to go in a company that is already in loss, and that will only increase the burden. So, but the public sector enterprises that is already in profit, they need not to be privatized, and they just need some reforms to work more functionally and more better. As we talked about some banks also that can be more better than the private banks also, or airlines also that can be more better than the private airlines also, if some of the measures are taken to improve and enhance them. Thank you.
Uh, Government should not do privatization of those firms which are in profit. Yes, government can privatize those which are in loss, and government should think of those aspirants or unemployed youths also.
Same here, ma'am. Government have not to privatize all company, but just those companies which are in losses.
Okay,
Harshvardhan
If
Singh,
Harshvardhan.
your views, please. Yeah, you have such a big name, Harshvardhan Singh, the
In,
pride of
ma'am,
our
Anyone?
nation.
in my opinion, the government should privatize not the whole company, but at least around 10 to 20% or 40%. I think the government organization and private organization, if work together, then it must enhance the productivity of company or a sector. That's all, man.
Okay, very good, guys. So,
Harshvardhan's conclusion is good.
hmm, I think Rao Saab also spoke well. So, I will agree with all of your conclusion. Good, GD. And next time, we will discuss about the budget that will come tomorrow. For tomorrow, you have the homework
economic
that,
survey.
hmm, for tomorrow we will take leave, and you can all study the budget that will come, and for day after tomorrow, that is on Wednesday, we can discuss the budget. If you want that, then we can held the session at tomorrow also. You can tell your views, then we shall think upon it.
And one more thing, in our GD group today at 10 p.m. I request
Hmm.
each and every one of you please present there
Guys, GD is happening
because
at 10 p.m. at night, so everyone can join the GD group also. I think you all are
I,
all already present in GD group, so openly participate in the GD. I will
because
share
the
the link
previous one
once
was
again.
very good. Yeah, and the previous GD which we have did was a really excellent one. Himani was there. Himani, that was good session, na?
Right. Very good session.
Yes. So I will
Yeah, and
place the
12 to
link in my
13
YouTube session
participants were
also
there.
about the GD group. So you can join the GD at 10 p.m. at night, and 1 p.m. at afternoon our session for interview preparation and English is held. So join that as well.
Okay.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Kavya ma'am, for this fruitful session.
Thank
We all are
Okay.
you.
delighted to join that
Very
session.
nice.
Great to have you here. Just try to join on time. Please everyone come at exact 1 so we can wrap up the session at 2. Okay?
Okay,
Exactly.
ma'am. Today I was
Today
late
we were
because I was
waiting.
sleeping.
It's okay. From let's have the session tomorrow also, because if we have gap na, then students are like, oh, we don't have any work, so we don't have to go, so they just forget about the session. So let's have the session tomorrow also, even for half an hour, 45 minutes only, then only also we will have the
Okay.
session. Okay,
Okay.
chalo.
Okay.
Day
Thank you,
after
Kavya
tomorrow
ma'am.
we will
What
discuss
about
the budget.
extra points of that initiation or conclusion?
Yes, I will discuss
Thank,
about the
thank you
GD
so
also.
much, Himani ma'am.
Or one more thing, if you like someone, so please give him or her a chocolate, digital chocolate.
Okay.
Okay, I
Okay,
can
I'll
Acha,
Paytm.
send it
we
in the
have some
DMs.
persons. I will give everyone some time. They can tell about everyone. Okay? Like if I give time to Himani, Himani, you can tell about everyone, including me, that what you feel in GD, that someone have the area of improvement or what the plus points of that person were. Okay? One by one, we will have everyone's turn. Is it fine?
We have it from
Yes.
next session. I'm just reminding you.
Okay. That was I telling then.
Uh,
I you can go on also. I think Rausak speak well. Himani also speak well. That Himani knows what one should her she should speak. Harshvardhan joined late, right? Saurabh also spoke well. So I think everyone knows what to speak. Little bit you are just like what we say, jijak.
Nervous.
What we say jijak in English.
Nervous type.
Yeah,
Agitation.
hesitation. You just have a
Hesitation.
little hesitation to speak in English. That will go just in 2 to 3 sessions. If you come daily and speak in English, that hesitation will also go. I'm not
This
trying to
can
say
say
that
it
you
from
have
my
only to
personal
speak in.
experience. Yes,
Himani?
guys, I'm saying it from my personal experience. Your hesitation of speaking English will go after 2, 3 more sessions. Thank you, guys.
Exactly, we have an example of Himani. She started with Hindi GD, but now she is doing really a great in GD.
Hmm. I'm very
We have
impressed.
seen excellent improvement in Himani.
Thank you, Raisa. Thank you, ma'am.
So join both the sessions. Join the GD also. Join 1 p.m. session also. You will see the improvement in English also and public speaking if you join the GD also.
Okay, ma'am. According to my point of view, Kavya ma'am
Hmm.
is exceptional because she is organizing the event and she is also doing a great work. Saurabh also did well, but he is little bit hesitated in his speaking. So this will be improved further. Himani, as we all know, that she is excellent. She has improved herself a lot. Today
Hmm.
also she did an excellent job. Harshvardhan joined us late, but he also tried his best to
Excuse
give
me,
his
ma'am.
message.
Yes, Saurabh.
Ma'am,
Harshvardhan.
ma'am, can you explain that? Ma'am, can you explain that? What is the well, means for which exam this preparation is going on?
Saurabh, for every kind of exams, it is also for public speaking also. ठीक है? If you have
Okay, you
interviews,
can.
it will be.
It will be helpful in private sector also.
Yes, it will be private helpful in private sector also. It is just for public speaking in English, ठीक है? Those who are hesitant in English speaking or public speaking also. Like some
Basically, you
people
have
can't
take
even
it as a
speak.
personality development of speaking. You can develop your
Yeah,
personality in speaking,
yes, exactly. You can
and this
tell
will
this
help.
is for a.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Hmm.
You
So
are
in the later
improving your
sessions,
communication
right now,
skills.
you are improving your communication
What, ma'am?
skills. Right now, I am working on that. Everyone must be open in the session so that everyone can speak. No one feel hesitant. In after 2 or 3 sessions, we will start the real interview sessions also, in which we will held Q&A also. We will do the personal interviews also. Okay, in the upcoming session, not right now. In the upcoming sessions, we will do that also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for this great
Ma'am,
session.
when will be conducted next session?
Tomorrow it will be daily for at 1 p.m. So join daily. You will see a huge difference in yourself.
Okay,
Okay.
from 1 p.m. to up to what?
It depends that what topic is going on. Actually, for my perceptive, it was for 1 to 2, but today it is 3 because everyone joined late also. So the session was held longer.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Generally, it is from 1 to 2, 1 hour.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
So see you tomorrow, everyone.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay, bye. I will end this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
ma'am.
good day, you all.
Have a good day to everyone.